Team, it is going to game 3, and the teams have started loading into the game already, Breaky, so hey.
Let's do it. Let's jump in. We got game number 3 coming at you, and as you can see, we got Lions on the Hellborn side and the YeYes, Team Tankafets, on the Legion side. So, yeah, we were initially, according to the organization of the event and everything, they were known as Team Tankafets, but I guess they just changed before this match or something. The YeYes. So, anyways, they're a good team, as they showed there, especially in that game number 2. And again, we got to see the power of Soul Reaper. Obviously, that change that happened to him, it's just a flat-out buff, really, to him. It gives him another option. And I did see him a couple times use it on his. I saw him use it on a Luna once. And
you did, okay.
A couple other heroes,
I forgot to pay a little bit added attention to that, simply because it is a new change.
It's not the most obvious thing in the world, but you just hear.
What is the graphic like?
It's a faint little blue glow, I think, that like comes out of the hero. But
mana, sure.
Anywho. It's been fun so far, and now we got a third game to decide it. Again, single elimination, so this is it. The winner of this will play the winner of the Stay Green versus Team Insanity, as you saw in the brackets there just a couple minutes ago. So, what do we got going on here? Well, the Blind Band stage, Artillery, Keeper of the Forest, Wild Soul Moon Queen, going back to the classics. Ophelia the first lock, followed by the Shadow Blade Deadwood here. So, Super KG has been known to play Shadow Blade every now and then.
He has been. I guess Lions is confident enough that if they need to resort to it as a troll lock, they're just going to put it out there to, alter the locking phase a little bit. And if they do need to access it, they feel like they can use it better than other teams, so not the worst thing in the world. Just choosing to fill up one of those slots. I'd call it more of a filler lock than I would a troll lock.
Yeah.
It's definitely still fulfilling a purpose, so it's not exactly trolling.
Yeah.
It doesn't really, convey the message clearly when you say that. So, yeah. Tempest and Pebbles locked up here. As we saw before, Tempest versus Ophelia. If they're going to pick Ophelia, I want to see them have a team that can really get down and dirty early. I don't want to see this bushwhack crap again. I don't. I want to see them
no
actually.
Bushwhack crap.
No. I want to see them be able to get down dirty, be able to protect their woods, not let Ophelia completely run over here.
You want to see a
with all
Swift
their camps.
Blade.
I want to see, maybe. I mean, they're not the ones locking it up. I mean, heroes like Deadwood, heroes like Rally Ophelia, incredibly powerful. Just outside of that, even Tundra is awesome, man. Just burst. That's what I want to see if I see an Ophelia. Otherwise, maybe there's things like Zephyr carry, which work too. It's just, I like the aggression with Ophelia. I don't like late game hard carry in a slow game.
Yeah. No, well, hey, I think it's safe to say as a spectator, as a caster in general, and hell, as a lot of the viewers out there, just it's all about the action in the end. And obviously, a big part of this patch is it was, in a sense, to kind of promote that ganking presence and being more active. So
yeah, well, it's not, to me, it's not even just about the action. It's about what I think works best with the hero and the phase of the game the hero is strongest in. Master of Arms, actually, if you want to carry, Master of Arms is one of the best ones you could do, which they had the option of doing in that first game. Master of Arms is one of the best carries you can actually put with an Ophelia due to the fact they get that higher level Master's Call, and he's a carry while still having a very, very powerful spell set that he can assist in fights with.
Yeah. So we are continuing on with the banning phase here. You see Demented Shaman, Parasite, Fade, and Rally coming out. Again, though, looking at the lock pull, seeing the Swift Blade especially to finish things off. A Swift Blade was, out of all the hero changes, and there was like 60 or something like that, he was definitely on one of the top ones, no doubt, that people saw. At least that we saw, I think it's safe to say. And we're curious by the fact that, well, his spin is now a lot more effective even at the earlier stage, how he's no longer disarmed.
Yeah. I'll tell you who's also still very effective against him, though, is this Deadwood sitting here in this lock pull. And because of the Deadwood, I would actually say there's a great chance that we won't actually see a Swift Blade coming out of this.
Yeah, true.
He starts
well,
spinning.
way to ruin the party.
No, I don't want to ruin the party, but it's that is a very likely chance.
That and hell, there's Tempest on top of that, so.
It's something, but yeah, the
Engineer Bubbles. The final band, so here we go. What's the first pick going to be? Wretched Hag has been very popular this series, especially out there, more so for Lions, though. Flensmeister playing the first 2 games. We'll see if Tankafet maybe steals that from them or goes a different route here. You mentioned Pearl. Pearl was out of those 6
Pearl's
heroes.
Up there. Alonia received some significant buffs as well, which could increase her ability to be played as a support hero. Frederick Field is now 75 mana cost at all levels. And how about that Flash Freeze range? Just really, really getting a buff.
Yeah.
Amongst other things, so There are other options. If they're going aggressive against the Tempest, if they want to sort of go for that route, you always have Andromeda as a viable support as well, just so you have something that can counter that Tempest ultimate even after you get shrunken head. Otherwise, you don't really need to have that as long as you play aggressively enough and keep them down. It's
Wretched Hag.
There's the Hagaluna coming out. So for a third game in a row now, Lion Esports Club is going to go the Wretched Hag. We'll probably see that in the hands of Flensmeister eventually. And again, but you look at Soul Reaper picked up by Tankafed again and worked the last game. Don't fix what ain't broken. They're going to go with it again right here and see how it works this time around. So obviously, again, there's a lot of patch changes we keep referring to. We're going to continue to do so. But also, I want to reiterate that maybe not necessarily right now, but the VOD of our podcast yesterday, over 3 hours of discussion that we had.
Was it over 3 hours?
And the whole thing is over 3 hours. The initial part, of course, with myself and Panda Ruhu for Sir Bensington, but then the discussion itself is maybe around 2.5 hours as far as, but we go over every single change in terms of the heroes, the items, the gameplay changes, and we have Dog Kaiser and WZA, of course, the balancing team here for Heroes of New Earth. They pretty much describe every single one. They say they give the reasoning for it. We debate on certain ones, and it's great information basically. So if you are curious about any of the changes or in general just want to know what they are from an explanation point of view, watch that podcast. It is on honcast.com right now. I definitely recommend it. Maybe even have it on the background of this match, something, or if anything, just later on.
Oh, geez. They're picking properly this game for sure.
Yeah.
You got the Master of Arms.
Oh, yeah.
But I would like to see him as the carry, but they have the Soul Reaper in this round playing the primary carry, so they don't need to have the Master of Arms in that role. So looking at probably, well, Torture can always play the support too. They can do Master of Arms carry, Soul Reaper carry, and then go for here. They want to pick up Ophelia. That's just a given. They know they're picking up Ophelia now, so the question is, what is Lions going to do? Ophelia did receive a little bit of nerfs in that you can counter push her a little bit easier now, and that the heal does not heal as much. Maybe around level 3, when you actually have level 3 Ophelia's touch, it does 1200 HP heal to the creeps. But earlier on, it's not as effective. It's still good, but it is not as effective. Maybe a little more counter push coming out here. I have to take a little bit of a look here at the hero pool, but it could be something to approach with.
Yeah.
But overall, if you look at this, having a Soul Reaper instead of a Bushwhack is phenomenal when you're looking at the Ophelia.
Yeah, I think that goes back to what you're saying about the first game, yeah.
Yeah, added burst. And they're going to be able to get either the well, I mean, they can still grab the Pebbles with the W, I feel like.
Ooh. Well,
there's
you
the
were just
Alonia.
mentioning
There's
her,
the Alonia.
yeah.
And, you know, if she's... Actually, they have the Aluna, so she's going to be either a secondary support or playing more of a farming role, looking like the secondary support so far.
Ooh, they go the Deadwood first pick.
See...
So they're basically saying you're going to have to run a Tempest Suicide here if you want Tempest and Ophelia. But
in a sense, it's good because it rounds out. They have magical burst, they have physical burst. They have a lot going for their team right now.
Yeah.
And I guess they're confident enough in going up against an Ophelia Tempest. I mean, Soul Reaper should smash in that matchup against the Tempest. He should do very, very well if he had to go up against something like a Suicide Tempest. So. Not really wanting to go that route, probably. And, well, they have the versatility in their lanes. They could just do dual lanes instead if they wanted to.
Yeah. Wonder if that threw Handskin off a little bit, too. Maybe thinking that they were just going to go the Ophelia, but they are going to go Tempest Pebbles. They actually leave Ophelia for them in the end. And I would find it very hard to believe that we're not going to see Ophelia here as the final pick, so... interesting stuff there. I mean, they wanted some burst damage themselves with that Pebble-style hero, and they go with the Tempest. There is the Ophelia final pick. So both teams very likely going to end up running a jungle here, it looks like. Comes down to it.
I think here's part of it. With that Tempest, they figure, okay, they can maybe try to shut down the Ophelia again, make something happen, and it synergizes with the Alonia, the Pebbles, even the Bread Power Throw, but more specifically the Bat Blast, you know? With that Wretched Hag, they have a lot of AoE damage in general on this team. So picking up the Tempest, they're aiming to go more along that route, even though they knew they had to concede the Ophelia. Also, if they figured they had the Ophelia, just not as much synergy, and they have the counter heal as well, and maybe they figured Pebbles wouldn't have enough of... You know, say Pebbles jumps in, they have the counter initiation there coming out from the heals, the Master of Arms, the Ophelia, and it'd be kind of a wasted effort. So going for that major team fight presence instead is what I can sort of see here from the Hellborn team and why they opted to go for the Tempest Pebbles instead of that Ophelia draft.
Yeah. Ooh, look at this Alonia skin. I'm not
Jack Frost.
very familiar. Is it Jack Frost? Okay.
Yeah, it's part of the. It was part of the Christmas set.
Look at that. That's actually pretty badass.
Can't really get it anymore, yeah, but it is cool.
Hard
You don't
to
really
tell.
see anyone use it because at the time no one liked playing Alonia. So right now,
You got changes, man. In this case, so.
Yeah, and Super KGE is playing it, so that does mean he is getting farm.
Yep. He's going to be... Well, how are they going to lane it over? I mean, what are they going to do? It's I would think... I mean, Hag is going top currently, it looks like.
Yeah, Hag is going to solo top, and then you're looking at Tempest
so
Woods, Hag top, and you're looking at otherwise... Could he go mid at this point, I guess? You want to make sure the Pebbles gets farm. Yeah, it's very likely he could go mid. Has like a side lane kind of item build here, though. So.
Yeah. Interested to see.
Yeah, Tempest is definitely going jungle. They could very likely go Tempest enemy woods and run an aggressive try.
Yeah.
But they have the Ophelia, so I don't think that would really make much sense at all, and Tempest isn't the best one at running that. So, yeah, maybe they'll just go aggressive dual lane with that Aluna Pebble, sending him into the off lane and putting that Alonia mid. Otherwise, Alonia's suicide seems like it'd be very, very strange. I mean, you said Wretched Hag was heading top, which is part of why we're not predicting it elsewhere.
Well, as you saw right there, we do have a remake coming out. Apparently, a couple of the heroes wanted to be swapped around on the Legion side, so wanted to quickly take care of that. Man, it's good to see so many people online this weekend, obviously with the patch and everything. So let's go ahead and get the new game up. I hope they made it an all-pit game. Make it go quickly at least. Here, but again, as you can see on the brackets on the screen, you can find these also at honcast.com as well as the competitive forums. As they're all leaving this one, so something got screwed up apparently.
Maybe it's probably the server or something.
Okay. Anyways, again, X Trademark, they did defeat Ifraid. You were kind of looking at those match IDs, and it looked like we saw some fun stuff there, including some Lodestone, some Hellbringer. So that was definitely, and I know Beef over in the complexity casting, he was casting that series, and he's casting the bottom portion overall. The Complexity versus Q squad, which is going to be later today as well. That is set to start in about an hour from now, just like the Stay Green versus Insanity. But of course, that series is going to wait for us to finish before that one starts. So pretty much after this, you can safely say, is when Stay Green versus Team Insanity is going to be happening. And again, in case you didn't hear, Tralfamador is playing with Complexity this weekend, as Haxerin is playing with X Trademark.
It's going to be really exciting to see Tralf with his old team playing in pretty much the same slot he used to play in, too. I mean, he would actually mix it up quite a bit, but he would play that carry. He was known for playing that carry very effectively. You'd see him do things like the jungle roll occasionally. You'd even see him play War Beast in the woods, too, sometimes. He mixed it up, but... yeah, playing that old carry role, which a lot of people, when they saw Tralf come back to the scene recently, they said, hey, he's okay, but I think he needs to actually go carry. I want to see the Tralf carry again. Yeah. And in a team like Complexity, that's a place where he potentially shine.
Yeah.
And,
it's players that he's familiar with,
for his team. It's players that he's familiar with, has always regarded very highly. He used to praise them a lot, and have a lot of personal respect for them. And it's good to see him in an environment like that. Hopefully it'll allow him to thrive. And we'll see whether it's a permanent shift over or not. We can't speculate that far yet, but he is playing with them for this tournament, and going to be really exciting to see.
Okay, it looks like we are good to go once again. As you may even hear, they are doing the all-pick now. And so let's go ahead and jump back into that. Going to be loading in here very shortly. So good job getting the quick remake out and getting into game number 3 here. So, and again, I mean, that just goes, it's just going to naturally happen. But with the events finishing, with this big new patch coming out, not only were all these hero item changes and whatnot, gameplay changes, but there's also roster changes. And that goes to what we're just talking about. And even in this game, as we've been referring to.
Alonia is going mid.
Is she? Okay.
Well.
Or he in this case.
The reason I say that's because Pebbles has a shield here, not a hatchet, and it's more of a side lane style item build, knowing he's going to be going in the off lane there. Normally, like when you see the Pebbles is the thing, and while it's a little bit hard to speculate, you don't really want to give him that head of the farm in the game. You want to make him your primary farmer in the early game until he gets that portal key, so he can then evolve and allow the rest of your team to farm because of that pressure he can apply.
Yeah.
Being in the off lane, it is heavily momentum based. We'll see whether they try to apply a lot of pressure here and actually have Tempest move into the enemy woods. It is kind of hard to do given the fact that they have that Ophelia, but look over here. Ophelia is actually looking to play an aggressive Ophelia, went boots of speed first. So in a case like this is going to work out phenomenally for them, and they're actually be able to execute pretty much exactly as intended, and Soul Reaper is going to absolutely get smashed down here. However, Probusk, with that Ward of Sight, honestly, beautifully placed, and giving him the read on that lane will at least give him a little bit of a chance here. Because otherwise, with no vision, just good luck.
Oh, yeah, it's not a hero that can survive early on, at least. So, but you know what I find interesting about this, obviously with the remake, I'm pretty sure it was because Fabelli and Panny switched heroes. And you know what that tells us? So it initially was a support master with a more of a farming torturer, but now it's a support torturer with more of a farming master.
Well,
so.
hopefully that was intended and not
because of
right. And I talked about it before. I think the farming master is better with the Ophelia. I do think it's probably the. I think if you have a master of arms, you should probably make him the farmer, and just especially with the Ophelia, especially with it. Just synergizes so well. On top of the fact that, you know what a farm master means? A higher level master's call.
Yep.
A higher level master's call not only synergizes with that defensive bonus from Soul Reaper and Ophelia, but it also pairs well with that Deadwood. The offensive master call onto the Deadwood allows you to put out so much more damage.
Oh yeah. So Alonia, though, I'm glad to be seeing him in this case here, being played by Super KG, especially in the solo role. I know there's talks about, especially with the boss, big great support, even secondary support option, but this is a hero that can and will put out damage, man. A lot of burst damage over time, so it's going to be fun to watch that coming out from Alonia as this game progresses. You see that Q ability, the spammable, what is it even called? The Glacial Spike. You see him level up that Flash Freeze. So
Alonia is absolutely phenomenal now, honestly. It's the Flash Freeze. Honestly, more than anything, the range increase of the Flash Freeze makes the hero just feel so much better when you play him, because before you had all these long-range spells, all these spells that can provide.
Pebbles might be in a little bit of trouble. Nice Stalagmite so initially, and it does ultimately help keep him alive. The Catman Champion falls right there, and Ophelia back to the jungle. But
Yep. You had all these spells that build up all these charges from a long distance, safe distance, and when you went in to try to get the Flash Freeze, you'd oftentimes be punished for it because it's only at a 500 range. Now it being boosted up to 650, I believe, at level 4 of the ability. It is absolutely so easy to get into position, make full use of it. So yeah, a huge buff there alone.
Ooh, Poor coming into the bottom lane here, so some adjustments going on from our Hellborn team. Flensmeister playing the Wretched Hag. He'll actually port to the bottom lane. He had level 3 up here, so he was having a pretty good time, but Pebble's actually rotating to the top, and Aluna is eventually going to make her way all the way up to the top lane as well. A 2-minute rune will spawn. It's going to be a regen for Aluna. Of course, that means there's a refreshment up top. By the way, another thing it's kind of important to note, and I don't know if it's you that told me, or maybe even our new producer Dylan, aka Panman, on that, shout out to him, by the way. Was the one that referred to where the rune situation, where if a rune refreshment happens to be left behind, it'll still spawn. Actually, hold that thought. Top lane, we got Pebbles actually in a little bit of trouble right here, trying to get away. Nice blocking coming out from Deadwood with the hero blocking. Couple more auto attacks, and Panny on the Torturer will get credit for the Bloodlust kill. So good roam coming out from Torturer. My point being, though, it will despawn and randomly spawn again. So you can't guarantee where the main rune will spawn by keeping the refreshment rune there. So just
very good point that I really didn't even think about at that time. You know, Steel Kid wasn't there yet to provide Pebbles the assistance, and all taking quick use of it was Krebson and Penny there. You know, the reason all of this happened in the first place, though, was because of that Ward of Sight placed down by Probus. When it got the read on the lanes, that's why Ophelia went from the enemy woods and adjusted really quickly back into her own woods, knowing that they were trying to run the sneak.
Oh, speaking of the sneak, Wretched Hag getting snuck on right here. She's trying to get away. She does have the Flash of Darkness. Where she blinks is the big question, though. She blinks back.
For it.
Oh, the Fork Lightning not going to connect. Will it still be enough for the kill? Wretched Hag one auto attack away. Can Flesmeister actually make this getaway? The auto attack hits the regen just a little bit too much, though. There's the Flash of Darkness, and Wretched Hag will survive. Holy crap. Flensmeister was so close to dying for so long there.
Yeah, very well played by him, though. Took great positioning and great timing to get out of that alive. Ophelia's Judgment Man, he was right on that Wretched Hag. It's level 2. Unfortunately, the mana cost is 175. He had the mana potion going, just not fast enough. He had to auto attack instead, knowing he would not have it up in time.
Yeah.
If he did, that for sure would have been a kill. Still well played, and onward they go. How's Pebbles doing now? Not very well. Not very well.
Yeah, obviously the death early on really hurting him. Not only that, but the adjustment he had to make in the first place, too. So definitely having the struggling start, especially compared to the Deadwood, is 14-5 compared to a 10-8 Pebbles. Holding his own, but still, Deadwood most certainly winning that on top of the assist, of course. How's that middle matchup, though, going? I'm intrigued by Soul Reaper 19-11, Alonia 13-6. Safe to say Soul Reaper's having the better time. Rune Refreshment is going to be bottled up by Alonia. The top rune, it looks like it was picked up by Tempest. Yes, he did bottle up the illusions. And I mean, that's another point. Knowing that a rune is going to spawn, at least at the top of the bottom every single time. As actually top lane, we do have some back and forth action. I don't think anyone's going to die, or will they? Actually, Tempest running into level 4. So no ultimate, of course. Glacial Blast coming out, though. Only one stun. Torture on the run. Oh, he might be in a little trouble, though. Nice rotten grasp. He's trying to juke through the woods. He figured he would have got cut off. Gonna go for the TP. Will it be in time? No, it will not. The auto attack from Aluna. And down falls Panny. So the chase is successful. And they get the kill.
Yeah, the game is evened out from that. I'm trying to watch the mid-matchup here. They actually got both of the runes at the 4-minute mark. Tempest got the illusion rune top, and which he used to set up that kill right there. Not really used to set it up, but for a little bit of assistance. And Alonia did get the bottom rune. Still, Sword doesn't care. He's regenerating mana on every single creep kill here.
Yeah.
Is he actually storing it up at this point? He has 10 break. You look at that. That's how much dominance he has up this mid lane.
10 charges. So he could just use that heal like right there, and not even. There you go. Bursts up. In the
doesn't even.
That's only level 1 of it too.
Yeah, that's. And he had lane control before that, so. Right now, it's just Alonia's.
It's a good buff to him, man.
Having a little bit of a suffer. I don't really see her as a typical mid hero. The problem is she's getting handled in mid, and it's not a dual lane that's forcing her back. It's the 1v1 scenario, so you can consider that a complete wipe. That being said, Tempest is leveling more effective than Tempest, and as a result, we see the experience in gold is still neutral between the two teams. And I like Alonia's teamfight presence still. I think as the game goes on, she will still prove to be very effective.
The more I'm realizing, too, in this, you mentioned that this 1v1 matchup, this is a difficult match for her simply because of the regen by Soul Reaper. Now, Luna's going to get picked up in the top lane. It looks like, oh, the chain reacted last second, but the log throw to finish off Aluna, so she does eventually fall. Good job by Crepson right there. Aluna, though, thought she might have had a little bit of a getaway. But, again, going back to the middle matchup, the regen for Soul Reaper, the fact that he can constantly heal himself up. If anything, Alonia's advantage comes in the fact that he has a lot of good spammable damage that will just wear you out. Soul Reaper doesn't care about that, and I think that's really proven here in this matchup. And so, yeah, Alonia's having a difficult time.
He had lane control early on, using that heal to get last hits for himself and screw Alonia's timing, as well as just sort of winning out in that battle of last hits in general. Did allow him to give a huge, huge edge here. I was going to say...
Just be careful there, jeez.
Yeah. Sad times for Seal Kid, though, man. How about that? Deadwood hitting level 6 right. He was literally staying next to Deadwood as Deadwood hit 6, and he hit it. Probably hit that Alt V to level up his ability instantly, punched him right away, and down he went.
Yeah, good kill right there. And again, going back to Deadwood, his creep farm isn't necessarily the best, but that being 1-0-1 is definitely helping him quite a bit. But speaking of that, I mean, Pebbles has stepped up quite a bit. He's now 26-14. And that's the good news there for Lion Esports Club. Skyzell looking pretty strong. Aluna's going back and forth. Tempest was over here about 20 seconds ago, but he's now back to just farming. He actually finishes his Ring of Sorcery there on top of course, the bottle that he picked up initially. Bottom matchup, how's Fabelli been doing here on this Master of Arms? He is having a pretty good time, it looks like. 33-5, 31-4 Hag. You got to remember, though, Hag did start initially at the top lane. The
root did hit Pebbles there, and the punch is coming out. I think that should be a dead Pebbles, man. There's no way you can get out of this one alive.
Yeah, I also just missed that bottom action as Hag did get picked up in Master of Arms. Sure enough, talking about him. Tempest coming in, does have an ultimate, but again, doesn't want to really use it just yet. Needs that positioning. Devil's going to be able to pour it out. Can Panny pour it out as well? Buys the TP. Use that 135 gold. Will it be enough for the getaway? Oh, Tempest ultimate maybe. Not even necessary. Runs up for the stun. No! Torture gets away, and Hanskins got to be smacking himself in the forehead right there because that was a completely missed kill chance.
Yeah, rough times. Now, I gotta say, the way that they structured this lineup was absolutely beautiful here for the Legion side. The way they conducted their drafting phase, honestly, it's way too powerful. The fact, if they had this lineup and they weren't able to secure the Pebbles or the Deadwood, on top of that, they were able to get a Pebbles or Deadwood for free, pretty much guaranteed out of that locked pool, because they knew that Hellborn is still probably going to be going for that Tempest pickup. The fact that they were able to do that just gave them... They have the perfect composition right now. I talked about liking that heal, or more that mid-game presence with Ophelia in general, and I talked about liking that bursty point man to work with that heal, that burst actually acting as a heal in itself when you prevent damage from coming out, and they have it all right here. They honestly have a perfect 5-man lineup, honestly, for Ophelia.
Yeah. Yeah, it's put together very nicely. I mean, they got to credit to Tankafet. Again, I don't know necessarily how this team drafts as a whole, whether if it's more of a he just chooses or if it's a team effort, but hey, it's working for them, and here we are in game number 3, having the early advantage now, just over 9 minutes into the game, and you could argue it's even more amplified than simply the fact that this Legion team is a very scary, early game team if it gets that momentum.
Which they have.
And they have, and they're going to start showing it right here. This middle tower just going to get disintegrated. You have Pebbles nearby. He's not going to do anything about it, though, because there's nothing he can do. Instead, they're going to try to counter-push the top lane. But now their middle secondary is going to start being pushed in here, so They need to start thinking about something here shortly. But the top tower, I don't even know if the top tower is going to fall, honestly. It's not. Alonia's
Who has
back.
ports in the top lane? Tempest does have a port. He's moving back into fog. Luna does not, though, so trying to rotate. Still a lot of damage being put out, even if they don't commit to it at this point. Honestly, they should just back up, in my opinion. That's really
Alonia running in with the flash freeze right there. In comes the glacial spikes on top of the Master Bronze. Even the Master Skull going to be fine for now, though. Will it be enough for the lift? The Tempest all in the back. Oh, no, the demonic execution to stop it, though. Handscan gonna fall when it's all said and done. Torturer, he will fall too, though. Sword pristine alive with the helm. Look at the heal bomb doing so much damage as well as keeping him alive. Alonia will fall right there. Wretched Act barely surviving. The only death being the Torturer. Tempest and Alonia dead. And then Tower taking a lot of damage.
Look
right
who's
there.
back with full health and mana. Master of Arms. He was sent back in the middle of that. He was being initiated on.
Yeah.
You know, first he got the stun off right before the Pebbles actually hit him with his, and was sent back. TP'd right back on in, and well, it looks like they're going to keep the pressure up here. How's Ophelia's creeps? What's her status there? Needs to go get some, because right now she is absolutely stripped.
But still, as a team, though, obviously looking pretty good right there. 4,600 gold lead, 3,000 experience lead right now, as we are approaching that 11-minute mark here. Deadwood, 1,500 plus gold saved up. So again, going back to the concept that this is a scary momentum team here on the Legion side, and it is getting to that point already. And if you're Lion Esports Club, definitely got to be a big concern. I will say, you know, Alonia, as I'm sure you addressed earlier as well, but she does have great creep clearing potential for sure. So that's definitely going to be a plus against this mass push here from the Legion side once it starts really going, as if it's not yet even. But other than that, I mean, hell, the Portakey on Pebble, is that purchased, by the way? Didn't he? No, there's no way he has it. He has Steam Boots and Bottle, so he only has 120 gold saved up. Wow. He is yeah, nowhere near that Portakey at this point. And you got Wretched Hag, Steam Boots, and a Bottle herself. So, again, all across the board, not the best of news here for Lion. In fact, four of the top 4 farmers in the game are actually all on the side of our Legion team here. So,
no, I mean, if I were a betting man, I would put all my money here on Tankafet's side. They do have the better tools to win this game, and they have the advantage so far in the early game, combined with the fact that their point man, the Deadwood, is going to be hitting his portal key that much sooner relative to the Pebbles. And at this point, it's just a matter of execution, not getting too cocky, making those safe plays happening. When you have your ultimates up, make sure your positioning is sound and just going with it. Just very carefully, not really diving into it too much. They don't have an easy way to initiate here on the Hellborn side. They really just need to sit back and farm a little bit and let things happen at this point.
Yeah. You saw right there the explanation for the pause. Apparently just some minor internet issues. Get that figured out, though, and get back into what is game number 3 here. Again, the following series. I know a lot of people, it was originally supposed to be the initial series, but I'm not sure which side had the issues, but there was a reschedule that happened between Stay Green and Team Insanity. So they instead became the later match, where obviously we have this one as the initial match, but that one will be happening, and a lot of people are very interested, as well, as I can guarantee both of us are, with Stay Green and Team Insanity. It'll be a very fun match there. And a couple things to note about that real quickly. I mean, State Green, obviously very dominant team. They've won the All-Tier Grand Finals. They won the GSL, no doubt. It's the most momentum out of any team as of late. But they are going through. Casey did go back to Germany. Slicks went back to Australia. And on top of that, this huge patch. And, you know, Swinnemalts has been pretty vocal, from my understanding, that he's been having some issues with a couple of these changes. And it's just change in general, though. When you're doing so well, of course, changes happen. It may slow you down a little bit, and that understandably would be frustrating. So it's going to be fun to see nonetheless. But holy crap, Alonia at the bottom lane needs to try to get away right here. But in comes Wretched Dad, going to go for the turn call. Torture will fall. Look at that burst damage coming out. Belly's now in trouble. Bat Blast does connect. Will it be enough of a chase? Oh, they're playing very passive here. They just think there's support coming in. Master of Arms is going to live.
Ophelia could have blinked, but the Ophelia heal came out. That would have allowed him to survive right there anyway. So I think it was okay that they didn't dive too hard. But still, they actually catch out Tankafet right there, and they're still applying the pressure, man. And with Master of Arms forced to sort of fall back here, that's looking like a free tower.
Yeah, and on top of that, all 3 Ophelia's minions just got killed right there, actually. So that was a very good catch coming out from Lion Esports Club. And as you mentioned, the tower kill looks like easily going to go on top of that. So the gold lead will go down a little bit now. Still going to be in favor of our Legion team, but definitely going down. Soul Reaper finishing as Gnome's Wisdom right there. I believe he did the same last game, if I remember correctly. He then followed up with a Barrier Idol, so we'll see if Probusk goes the similar, if not the same route here. That portal key, though, continuing to come up fairly quickly here for Deadwood. Now up to 2,100 gold, just shy of it. So he won't be able to pick it up just yet, but he's going to farm maybe one. Hell, he might just wait around at this point. No, he's going to go out right here and get a one creep go or so. Maybe the time will eventually get it for him, but going to make the best use of his time.
It's going to. He's heading to the top lane. Actually, what might happen there is he might be able to sneak into the side shop, grab it. Using that clear cutting actually more than anything, because if Wretched Hag pushes the wave up here, we'll see how he approaches the wave. But if he pushes the wave up here at all, I would spot him. But he can still get into that secret shop using the clear cutting. Wretched Hag is playing it safe, knowing that Deadwood did have some good farm. He is missing right now. What does she actually have on her? Just has a ward of sight she's going to try to use maybe to offer a little bit of protection here. Portal key is picked up.
Yeah, but he's turning around. Obviously, Wretched Hag not showing herself. And so probably that's the cue for Deadwood that it's not necessary for him to continue to be up there. He's kind of going back and forth, just trying to find an opportunity now of where he can go. Pebbles, in the meantime, clearing out those triple stack Ancients. And honestly, he's recovered very... I mean, Deadwood was a lot further ahead than him when I looked at it a couple minutes ago. And all of a sudden, Deadwood just got his portal key. Now Pebbles is a matter of 200 gold away, really, from getting the portal key himself. Alonia catching Soul Reaper here, but Soul Reaper's like, are you kidding me? You're not going to kill me. So he's easily takes the damage. He actually uses the Invis Runia bottled up. He's going to be fine for now. Speaking of Alonia, though, she's got a great block and finish on her.
Port is coming in now, as you say, with Wretched Hag dancing around the blitz and having that ward of sight to scout things out. Deadwood has to be careful. It looks like they're going to get the jump on him.
Oh, yeah, Sam also looking in the middle lane, but yeah, you do see Deadwood now in a lot of trouble. Red power throw going to be missed right there. He cannot get the portal key off. Those stalagmites won't connect. There goes the chuck in the air. The Defensive Master Skull trying to keep him alive a little bit longer. Not going to happen, though. Grepson will fall. And Seal Kid actually getting credit for the kill playing that Aluna. So I was watching the middle action, and we saw Soul Reaper trying to get the tower kill right before it was denied, but it wasn't to be. So again, Lion Esports Club definitely picking up a decent amount of momentum here. And actually, Soul Reaper's going to be a little bit of trouble here. Tempest does have an ultimate. Will he use it as a question? No. Soul Reaper's just too damn tanky.
He literally took no damage.
Yeah, and he's level 11, by the way.
Those two heroes on him. Those two heroes on him. With stuns, with the nukes. He took 0 damage. He's at full health.
The Mystic Vestments alone is doing work for him. I mean, hell, look at this Hellborn team with that set. It's all magic, man. There's very little to no physical presence, at least yet, from the Hellborn side, so.
Ooh, excellently timed glyph there, preventing Skyzo from getting the tower kill using the toss.
Yeah, you look at Tank Effect goes, he was kind of in an awkward spot, but in the end, this is going to pay off big time. Skyzo will get picked. Oh, big bait, you could say. Skyzo actually jumped onto Ophelia, thinking that they were going to go, but then he quickly started to run, realizing that it was a trap. And it was not in time, though, so a good counter kill coming out from YeYe. And, of course, they're going to group up and make this push happen. So we're only 15.5 minutes again. Going back to what we talked about, it honestly feels like it's been so much longer, but only 15.5 minutes, and this is going to be another tower kill.
They can go for 2 towers very easily here. Ophelia's ultimate is going to be up in just 30 seconds. Given the fact that Pebbles is down for 10, it's buying even more time. As long as they position carefully and don't commit to anything too soon, I would honestly be 100% confident jumping into this fight if I was a Tank Fest.
Yeah, oh, well, yeah, Tank Fest, yeah, for sure. This is at least push the secondary tower. We'll see, though. Hellborn team, they are setting themselves up again. They do have a Tempest ultimate. That could be the difference maker. Absolute Zero also up here for Alonia, so synergizing that with the Tempest ultimate could be huge, of course.
Yeah, Alonia and Tempest, I mean, those two heroes alone, a good Tempest ultimate combined with all of the AoE damage with the maxed out Frigid Field, with the maxed out Glacial Spike from Alonia can just absolutely tear them apart.
Oh, yeah.
So, always have that turnaround potential.
They most certainly do, and it's enough of a scare to keep the Legion side off really pushing the secondary tower. You see how they're kind of positioning themselves. Not going to force the issue, and it looks like they are going to get pushed back in the end. So it is enough of a scare. Lion Esports Club doing enough work right there. Now, is this a fake fallback is the question. It looks like it might be. You got the YeYe thinking about going back in now, back to the lane. Deadwood's still trying to find his opportunity. Going to go ahead and clear cut through the trees right here. You see Vulture Lord going to spawn a Tornado. And Ophelia's going to start trying to use that a little bit now for harassment purposes, as the elementals are off to the side. So if anything, this is going to go in deny range on the tower. Will it be denied is the question now. As well, not just yet at least, but eventually going to get there. So yeah, Team Takeoff, they really want this tower kill. It's going to be interesting to see how it happens. So again, there's no portal key on Tempest by any means or anything like that. So you can't really catch them. It's going to be close right here. The Energizer is going to be used. They're going in full force. Do they have a vulnerability? No, nice deny from Hanskin though coming out. Oh, beautiful play. So still the tower's dead, but very beautiful deny there.
Yeah, it looks like they're able to position back, so I wouldn't say a lot of time wasted because the golden experience did still go in their favor, and they needed all 5 heroes there from the Hellborn team because they didn't want to risk, you know, fighting without their entire army with them. So hey, it's not the end of the world.
Take it, yeah. Definitely take that. 18 minutes into this game now, 7-5 hero kill advantage in favor of the YeYes. We have a 4,800 gold lead on top of a 3,000 experience lead right here. So speaking of that, though, Energizer we did see used by Fibelli there in that last fight, and so he's coming along pretty nicely now, 320 gold per minute, clearing out some Ancients right here in the meantime. Obviously, he'll start enhancing his damage out, but he's been playing that kind of a farming role himself, or that carry style of Master of Arms this game. Alonia, Steam Boots, the Mystic Vestments, the Grave Locket. Very, very interested to see where she goes, honestly. Because, again, not only just a hero we don't see often, but with all these changes to these items, with the new items like Lightbrand and whatnot, the Grimoire Power seems like it could be very powerful on her, so where do we go for Alonia? Well, I mean, what would you like to see? What would you think makes sense? Hold on thought for a second, though. Ophelia's going to get jumped right here. She does have the Ophelia's touch. Will it come in time? Oh, the absolute there's the Ophelia's touch, and the turnaround on the Pebbles coming out. That is the potential and the power of Ophelia, and a Master of Arms on top of that.
Red power throw's coming out. No!
The red power throw not going to land,
Whoa.
though. And she will be fine. Beautiful turnaround. Look at Sword, he's running in. Demonic Execution and stun him, if anything. Getting in range for the heal nuke. Will it be enough damage? There's a heal nuke. One more will do him in. Can he get close enough, though? There's another heal nuke, and down goes Alone. I just love how Sword just charges in out of nowhere and just gets a kill as well.
Yeah, actually, bottom lane during all that, I was watching it off the belly. Got picked off by the Rush Attack Tempest combination. Bat Blast was not even needed to be used. They just got a quick and effective kill. Master's Call was down. Being used to help save that Ophelia initially, so yeah, great survival there. That red power throw, he aimed down a little bit. If he actually aimed down the path leading into the top woods, he would have gotten the kill, but I think he assumed that he was running down instead.
Yeah. Went the other way, wasn't able to secure a beautiful, beautiful turnaround again coming out from the YeYes. My point, or what I wanted to get from you, though, Emperor, was just before that, it seems like you're fairly comfortable with knowing Alonia. I mean, again, with these new items introduced, do you think Grimoire Power would make sense, or would you like to see a different route?
If you're trying to run her as straight carry, I guess you could go Grimoire. That wouldn't really be a problem. She needs a lot of mana, and part of what could give you that is a Lightbrand. Especially if you're looking to evolve towards the late game, you don't want to pick up a Ring of Sorcery. A Lightbrand can be a great source of that. Otherwise, you're looking at standard utility items, but they are trying to play him as that sort of carry Alonia in a game like this. You could almost, I would liken him to a Torture, and how you build a Torture as well. You can go a very similar route with your items.
Okay, so like a tablet.
You get tablet, the gnomes beforehand, the gnomes is a farming mech before, the not a Frostfield plate, but you have the whole sheep stick, the utility items like that. Shrunken Head, just pretend you're like a Torture. I mean, Grimoire, you have a little bit more of a case for on a hero like Alonia because you are providing your damage from a bit more of a distance. Torture has to get in there with that impediment and with your ultimate. But overall itemization farming ability, you could kind of liken yourself to a Torture.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I was going to bring up. It seems like, in comparison to sure, it's an AoE damage out, but yeah, very comparable.
They're the same hero role.
Yeah, definitely, but as you put it, though, the range aspect for Alonia is definitely the advantage there over the Torture. Master of Arms going to be caught here in the meantime. Deep for the Master Call comes out the fork line, and here's another turnaround chance here for the Legion team. Pebbles running away. Nice red stun coming out from Luna. Will it be enough in the end, though? Chain reaction sitting Wretched Hag. She's going to be completely locked out, and down goes Wretched Hag. The demonic execution on top of everything else. Just way too much damage for Hag to handle right there. So her Lightbrand she just recently picked up, obviously not even going to matter right there. Tempest able to pour it out just before he gets caught, but it just seems like Alliance is having a lot just handling the turnaround, man. I mean, it speaks. We talk about it so much. Ophelia, Master of Arms. It's the global presence turnaround potential is just absolutely ridiculous.
I agree, Breaky.
I agree.
So. It's just the global presence, the defensive capability that the Master is. It's the versatility of that hero and support role. Carry role makes a phenomenal support, one of the best carries in the game. Yeah. Huge offensive, huge defense. It synergizes so well with so many things. And
you do look back on the picking stage with that said. I mean, Ophelia was the final pick, remember, out of the lock pool. They picked Tempest and Pebbles instead of taking Ophelia for themselves if they were lying. So And again, not to say that they should have picked up Ophelia by any means, and if they did, I mean, it would have just changed everything really as far as the laning phase and everything else. But
well,
as you think a little bit,
we went over why they were picking Tempest though instead with that Alonia draft with that massive AOE, why they chose to go for it. But yeah, you could make a case for interrupting the enemy team's lineup a little bit more instead, I suppose.
Of course, having a Tempest over here on the Legion side, he's always powerful too. So, yeah, again, the game would be completely different. So, but again, just kind of a hindsight thing of looking at it. But Token of Life obviously picked up by Pro Plus here. Obviously, has a barrier idol on top of that. You see, as a team, just items are coming together pretty damn nicely here. The Astrolabe bring up sorcery for Ophelia. Shrunken Head being worked on here by Master of Arms. We got the Hellborn side in the meantime. Pebbles has had that portal key for a little bit now. He's another 1,200 gold saved up. I also mentioned the Light Brand pickup on a Wretched Hag. So she, just like the first game, Flensmeister figuring a Grimoire of Power makes sense here. Uh-oh, Wretched Hag in some trouble though. A level 12 Deadwood, if he gets the opening right here, maybe. Yeah, there's the opening. The offensive Master's Call will be enough for the nice rock press as well, and down falls Wretched Hag. I mean, the Master's Call, man.
It makes all the difference.
Yeah.
The amount of burst shield to put out with that Master's Call compared to it's just absolutely absurd. More auto attacks, the faster execution of that ultimate. It's absolutely gigantic.
That's, I'm sure, again, Flensmeister, really nothing wrong he did there. It's just simply being in the wrong place at the wrong time. So, good catch by Krebs in, again, playing against his former team just as even a couple weeks ago in Lion Esports Club. And I guarantee he's probably a little bit of a grin on his face, seeing not only tied here in the series, but looking really strong here in game number 3. Obviously, really wanting a victory, not only for the money reason, but the beating your old team, always a good feeling, I'm sure.
Yeah, given the fact that they have Token here and that tanky front man Soul Reaper, this base tower is something I honestly just make sure the team doesn't get initiated on. Please just let Soul Reaper be the front man with the creeps. Like,
yeah, we brought that up the last game, of course.
They didn't catch the they tossed back the Tempest in that game. They weren't able to catch him with the Hellflower, and also it was a little bit different of a circumstance in that they were like 20k down at that point.
Oh,
but
yeah. So you're right here, they're going to keep pounding at it a little bit stronger. Alonia, as you mentioned, look at that creep clearing potential, man. It is pretty absurd.
Yes.
The Glacial Spike, the Frigid Field especially, those two alone is just it'll clear out creep waves
combined with the nerf
frequently.
to Ophelia's touch, so.
True. Yeah, no longer can just full heal her minions whenever it's on cooldown or
Yes,
off
it's a
cooldown.
900 heal now, which
Still a lot.
it is a lot, honestly. If you look at it, they get down to, I mean, that's around the time you'd be using it
again,
anyway, but
Doc has a point out, like, that was more for the initial 6.
yeah, exactly.
More so unless the game progresses, but still does have at least somewhat of an impact.
Look at that AoE though, man. He actually loses the creeps there, and this is a point where they could actually look to initiate. They do not want to do it though, not against the Token, not against this Deadwood. That even if they initiated there, they had the heal on Master's Call, so yeah, definitely do not want to get it over their heads.
They've tried to jump several times in the jungle this game, and it's just gotten turned on, so you can imagine what they're going through. Oh, there's a 5 versus 5-5 right here. Sure, I mean, you have chances, but it's scary and understandable for Lion Esports Club. But Alonia is definitely a saving grace here, man. I mean, he's just really keeping these creep waves off the tower as much as possible. And it is showing, and it's getting to a point where...
Look at his farm, actually, just by doing that alone.
Yeah, true. Enhancing it quite a bit. Sacrificial Stone has been picked up by him, by the way. He's had that for now for a little bit. And
yes.
Another 1,500 gold saved up, so saving it pretty nicely. So it looks like the YeYes haven't had enough. They decided to go to the bottom tower and go ahead and clean that one up. The last outer tower remaining is officially dead now for the side of Lion Esports Club. So no more of those to work with in the meantime. Now we got Lion Esports Club also kind of just spreading out as a team right here and trying to pick up some farm in the meantime. 2,700 gold on Master of Arms, so again, very, very close now to that Shrunken Head. He will have it very likely before the next team fight takes place. And Soul Reaper still has just over 2.5 minutes remaining now on that good old Token of Life of his. So everything's still in the favor of our Legion team in what is game number 3. This is it, the final game here, the round of 8, single elimination tournament. The $5,000 Runic Shift event. There is something to note with that said. As far as a prize pool split, you do get $250 no matter where. If you happen to lose in the first round, you still get $250. So you still get something in the end, but obviously it goes up quite a bit, all the way to $2,000.
Look at how he's burning all of his mana here. Still, he has to go heal. They know that. This is the point where, they don't actually have any creeps up at this point, unfortunately. So he's going to be back in time. No worries there for him. Can't pick up a light brand yet if that was going to be the route he's going to go. He might have to go a tablet or some defensive item instead. He could sell his homecoming stone if he did want to grab that. Leaning towards the fact that he's not going to do that now.
It's kind of in base, so.
They need to hold off just as long as it takes for the token. That's given way too much advantage here to Team YeYe, or YeYe, sorry.
Only 2 YeYes.
Only 2 yes.
At least that I know of. Maybe there's a third one. It is a minute and a half on that token of life with that said, so again, dwindling down very fairly quickly here. Not too much time left. You see some, oh, double damage rune. Okay, it is going to be given back to Master of Arms. Or given to Master of Arms right there, so now he'll have that to work with. And there's a Bear Idol, so they want to make the push right here, it looks like. Token of life again, and now about a minute remaining. The Bear Idol most certainly doing work. And it is going to be enough to get the tower killed. It looks like, will it be denied? No, it will not. It gets the tower kill, forcing a stun on the Soul Reaper, but again, still with the token, going to be fine. And now the racks have been exposed, so mission accomplished right there for our Legion team, you can safely say. And Soul Reaper going to lead his way and sit on the uphill now and start attacking the melee racks. It's a fine line, man. I mean, it's so close to the token despawning here, but your nacho cheese man melee racks is falling at the same time.
Yeah, Lonia's just got to make sure she put out the brass here. Sorber does not seem to care. He knows he has the token. He's playing the role right here. The siege unit's actually doing a lot of work too. Time. Lonia drawing aggro from it, but no one's really making the play.
Well, Deadwood says, I'm tired of waiting. He goes in, takes out Pebbles just like that. Pebbles does have a buyback. He's going to come right back in. Deadwood now realizing that this might not have been the best decision in the end. He's going to be locked out. There's the Aphelios touch though coming out. Pebbles on Pebbles on top of that. Pebbles on Tempest on the pulling us over. It's going to be a good duration right there. It's eventually stopped. But Soul Reaper is still so much alive. Torture doing a lot of damage. Hat-trick coming out for Favelli. Playing that Master of Arms through it all. Alonia is going to get combo chain reactions, and Super KG will fall. Quad kill coming out. We have a chance of an annihilation right here. Tempest being chased down. Are we going to see the annihilation? Yes, we are. Annihilation coming out for Fabella. He may fall shortly after, though. He's going to try to be ported back, perhaps. Oh, no, it's not going to be in time. Down he goes, so they do at least stop that streak right there. But Alonia dropping again. The buyback galore is happening here for Lion Esports Club, but it's just too much power from our Legion team. They just cannot keep them down.
Bricky, we actually saw a pretty huge Tempest ultimate there too. Just the healing potential of the Legion side is way too much. There's not much more you can say about it. They have the advantage in gold and experience. They have the perfect team composition, so to speak. And oh my God, the send back onto the Soul Reaper is just getting worse and worse and worse.
Just when you think okay, we finally are going to kill him. Nope, he's back at base.
All the buybacks now stripped from Alonia, and being a major damage presence to the team, if they just jump him at this point, that is a guaranteed game-ending play. On top of the massive amount of momentum just established, they were so close to making it throughout the entire token duration. You know, it was down to like 20 seconds. They had to try to make a play happen, just could not do it soon enough. And
Lions is on their back foot right now. I mean, you see what they're doing right here. They're just like, okay, let's just get at least kind of punch. Oh, this is a decent combo right here. Actually, Torture and Sword for getting caught out, but no, Pebbles falls. Deadwood ended up joining the party. He eventually goes down. Luna's being chased down. She's going to barely get away, it looks like. But Soul Reaper still full strength, just chasing him down. Torture going to fall right there, but Alonia now caught as well. He does have a haste rune. Oh, he's going to run right past Deadwood. Deadwood putting in the auto attacks, but the haste rune is going to be the difference maker for Alonia. So again, they just know they are behind right here. They're just taking risks left and right, but it seems like it may be too much in the Empire Legion team. Again, it is game 3 though. Lions is definitely going to try to hold their own, and they have every right to, but no doubt big window has closed right here in this last couple of minutes as far as having a good chance. By the way, we see a Bound Eye picked up on a Luna. You see the new animation as a result of Bound Eyes that floats over the hero's head, whoever has the Bound Eye. So it makes it a lot more obvious as far as who has it. And when you activate it, I believe it glows like purple or something like that when you actually activate the Bound Eye. So you even know when it's up and looking for wards. So just something to keep in mind there. In fact, I think he may use it here shortly. Trying to counter ward. Yep, there we go. Yeah, you see right there, so it's like pulsing. But no war decides to counter, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's actually really cool. I didn't see the graphic in use. It's sort of funny, actually.
Yeah.
Lions has it now when they're on the back foot. A little bit. I don't know, man. Is it? Oh, is it? Oh, it just.
Yeah, it stays there. That's what I was saying. It shows that if they have a bound eye, it's basically information for the other team.
Interesting.
Yeah. To make a point that, okay, they have a bound eye, let's not run into them now. Rather than having to scroll over them, of course. So. Ooh, we got a little back and forth
Coming
right
on
here.
out here, and Pebbles is in a horrible spot.
And instead he's going to portal key away. We've seen it portal key in so much. This time he's finally like, okay, this hasn't been working. I need to get the hell on out of here. Alonia's being chased down. He's doing as much damage as possible. Oh, a big damage ultimate actually. Pebbles on top with the Shruggen activated by Master of Arms. He was just tanking that whole damage with the Mystic Bit. Tempest is going to fall. There you go. GG's being called hat-trick for Fabelli. We have Team Tankafets, a.k.a. the YeYes. They are moving on to round 2. Again, our very first event after the patch comes out, the $5,000 Runic Shift Invitational. Lion Esports Club knocked down in the first round against a team that was put together within these last couple of days even.
It's true. I mean, I would say it came down to the draft in that game 3 more than anything, though. I think having Alonia and Hag on the team was a little bit of a conflict of interest, a little bit too much magic damage front load on top of the Pebbles. They didn't have a very well-rounded lineup in general. If you look at it, it's pretty much all magic. The Shrunken Head came out at the end by Master of Arms. You saw right there. He got it on during the Tempest Ultimate. There was literally no damage for him whatsoever, so to speak of. So... yeah, great draft coming out from Tankafet. Just really had one step up on Lions in that game. There's not really much they could do about it after the momentum got started.
Yeah, big plays indeed from Team Tankafet. As you see right there, again, it is official. 2-1 series victory for Team Tankafet, a.k.a. the YeYes. And again, a good start for them. So, like I was just saying, and then this is the beginning of what we can expect to start seeing now. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, yes, you still have to have your big name favorable teams. I mean, Stay Green is no doubt up there. Complexity, your XTD, I'm sure they're still up there as the favorite teams.
They were the best teams of the previous era because they adapted the best, because they played the best as a team together. And I feel like, yeah, there is room for other teams to step up now and practice and achieve like there was before, though. I don't think it's maybe for the patch there'll be a little bit of instability with upsets happening here and there, but in the end the best teams will rise. Whoever puts in the most work, whoever puts in the most dedication and wants it the most is going to win in the end.
Yeah, and again, this is just more so a fun event. There's money on the line, a $5,000 prize pool ultimately on the line. But like I was even saying there at the very end, in fact, let me pull it up real quick just to clarify. The prize pool as far as it goes, so 5th through 8th place. So even if you lose in the first round, you're still going home with $250, so still not that shabby. So as you see on your brackets right there, both Lions and Team Afraid are going to be going home with $250. 3rd and 4th place get $500 each. 2nd place $1,000, 1st place $2,000. So again, a good amount of money just on the line here. $5,000 overall prize pool for a 2-day event, a weekend event, just right after the patch. More so to give the viewers and the players as well some experience and us an idea of what maybe to expect as more and more events, of course, start taking place here with the
I would say more and more. This is going to be a nice way to highlight the new patch, welcome the new patch into New Earth. But more so, you know, when you look at the next weekend coming up, the DreamHack qualifiers, which are right upon us here any day now, it's that should be teams going a lot harder. They'll have a whole week to practice. They'll have a lot more experience with the patch at that point, and I'll expect to see bigger plays to come.
There's going to be a lot of scrimmaging, a lot of practicing going on this week. Obviously,
there'll be endless content that way.
I wouldn't be surprised. So with that said, of course, this is actually going to line up fairly nicely here. So we're going to take a little bit short of a break here. It's about 3:11 local time, and the next match set to start at 3:30. So about 20 minutes from now is when 15-20 minutes or so is when the next match is set to start. We'll definitely keep you guys updated. Sit tight, though, ladies and gentlemen. We'll have our second series going to be coming up. That, of course, is going to be Stay Green versus Team Insanity, a.k.a. Insania, which includes Insania, Exhibit, Fuzi, Noob G, and Sender. So that's going to be a fun matchup. I know a lot of people are going to be looking forward to that one. You do not want to miss it. About 20 minutes from now is when it's set to start. We'll keep you guys updated at the very least. Sit tight. Stay tuned to Honcast.com.